And it was going so well. Damn it. I was singing. It wasn't good. Well, you know what? We're getting there. We're getting there, kids. We're getting close. At least it wasn't 5 entire minutes. So, progress. No, Jay. 99.99 times out of 100. C'est moi. C'est moi. C'est ridiculous moi. You are ridiculous, Lolo. I'm very ridiculous. Oh, I hope I don't break my microphone. I don't want to break the microphone. Yeah, I'm well, never mind. Yeah. So I wasn't unmuted. But welcome. I know, I'm good at those accents. Well, the only reason is, okay, I didn't mean to say it like that. The only reason I say that is because in college I studied languages. Like, I love languages. I love sound, right? Obviously, like, I like to sing. I like to hear sound. I like that. I'm curious about how, I like linguistics. Like, I like that. Anyway, so it's more of a hobby, and I like to do accents. I like to do voice stuff. I always am. I mean, a lot of us are, right? Don't you always talk in a funny voice? Do you ever talk in a funny voice? Do you? La livre est sur la table. La livre est sur la table. No, actually, les tamales sur la table. I'm very excited about those. I got myself a present today. Now, well. You know what's cool, Jay, is all the stuff you know about music and gaming and everything else. You are like my cooler younger sister. I think I probably do all day long. We have many insight. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think I'm alone. I just think I like to talk about it. Speaking of funny voice, I think I can do Donald Duck. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can actually do that. No, I don't think I can. I don't want to. Now I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Wait. Okay, wait. I gotta think about what to say, though. There's my Donald Duck. That's as good as it gets. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It was a lot better when it was making that noise to my child to get her to stop crying. It seemed to work a lot better than it did just now. So, oh well. But yeah, how was your, wait, what is today? Today's Tuesday. Today was Tuesday. I had an appointment, so I went out. It was really a nice, oh, it's totally, you are. Oh no, you are basically my sister. Like, I know we have so much in common in terms of our, well, I don't know. I just love you. You're a very sweet person, but also just like we share the same dark humor. And yeah, so yeah, it was a love fest. But yeah, I really do. I think of you as my like much cooler younger sister, not little sister. Okay, let's not go crazy. Just younger, slightly younger. I'm just kidding. One time I did an okay Christopher walk, and by accident have not tried any voices since. I'm trying. Let me use my imagination right now. Oh, I could see that. I think I could hear that. Any Christopher Walken impression? Yeah, exactly. I love Christopher Walken. What did he do the other? I thought he did something the other day. Maybe not. Maybe I was just watching like that Fat Boy Slim video again. I might have been. Did Moby get canceled? Is Moby canceled? Is that something that's happening? I was kind of hoping not. I always liked his music. I was like, I guess is that EDM? I don't really know. I don't want to assume it is because I'm not sure I know much about like the specific techno genres. Oh, you did a Mitch McConnell by trying to do Jimmy Stewart as studied in Bell Book and Candle. Oh, it's one of my favorite movies. You did. But were you trying to do Mitch McConnell or were you trying to do Jimmy Stewart? So would that be a determinant in the success of the impression? I don't know. I don't think I can do anything else. Bobo can do, yes. Bobo can do, Jennifer Coolidge, like, I want a hot dog real bad, makes me think of the 4th of July. She does it really well. I don't do it well. Yeah, I'm not very good at impressions. I can't remember if I've done anyone else. She's really fun to do. Anyway, yeah. I like Jennifer Coolidge. She's pretty funny. She's pretty funny. So yeah, today was Tuesday. I had an appointment, so I went out. It was nice out. It was I took a little, well, I was driving because I have to drive here, unfortunately. And it was a nice day. Yeah, I don't know. Bobo's not feeling well. I actually take back what I said last night when I thought there was some kind of food poisoning for me. I don't think so. I think it was that little virus. There's like this really wicked stomach virus that is going around. And I do know we went out last week and were in public with the filthy masses and their unmasked faces. And so we wonder if maybe I picked it up and then I gave it to her and then, Now we're going to pass it back and forth for a while. No, I'm kidding. I hope so too. It was a pretty rough night, but she's slept most of the day. So hopefully we'll get some chicken soup. I've got the chicken soup at the ready. I'm waiting for her signal. I'm waiting for the go signal. And then I actually have chicken and stars. That's the soup of the day. So not the fanciest chicken soup in the world. Not homemade. Stop it, everybody. I'm sorry. My God. But when you're sick, a good can of chicken and stars when you're coming out of your sickness, that's pretty fucking, that's legit. So anyway, yeah. It's a nasty one. Be careful. I mean, I don't know how you avoid it. It really does good. I mean, I know it's chemicals. I mean, I guess. Is Campbell's soup chemicals? I don't really know. I imagine it is. Probably has. Hi, basket package. It probably has like a ton of chemicals in it. Well, anyway, it's something good for your tummy when you're not feeling well. They still make chicken and stars. They sure do. They sure do. And I usually have a couple cans for this very situation. I literally always have a couple of cans in case somebody gets really sick. And you need it. You know, like, I mean, you can't like, I'm going to make you a proper chicken soup. I'm probably not that good at chicken soup either. So it's probably not like it would be like, oh, this is super wonderful. Yeah. But yeah, they make chicken and stars. 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 Hello to everyone here at the lounge. Welcome. Tom Yum. Okay, listen, I'm more of a Tom Kha soup girl. I'm going to be honest. So, yeah, Tom Kha would definitely be the go-to if it were like, you know, closer at hand. But I do love, I love a good, it's so good and so yummy. I like that. Yeah. What was I gonna, oh wait, you reminded me of something. What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. I can't remember. Oh man. Okay, let me think for a second. I'm gonna smoke some weed and I'm gonna think about it. Are you doing voice to basket package? You're typing like, he lost? No. That's terrible. Briefly makes eye contact from corner shadow table. My cheapo supermarket doesn't carry chicken and stars. It sells chicken and D-listers. Neil, that's so funny. That's so funny. That's so funny. You definitely get 10 points for that. That came out of nowhere. That was fucking hilarious. Neil, you better write that down. He lost? Fuck. That's terrible. What's the matter? Ooh. J-Rance. No children. No. Freedom to make chicken soup jokes. Chicken and D-listers. You know, I know that's good. I know that joke is good. And the reason I know that joke is good is because my brain is not always like on fire when it comes to, you know, things. I don't know. I think you know what I'm talking about. And so the fact that I got it immediately, to me, means like it's an exceptional joke. Because I really didn't have to think about it that much. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Thank you, Neil. I needed that. I totally needed that. That was a good one. Oh, yes. What I was going to say was, oh my god, did you make a smiling trophy, J. Rance? That's the cutest thing in the world. I've never seen a smiling trophy. That's the most adorable thing I've ever seen. That's so cute. I was going to say, we have 36 total viewers right now, which means a ton of you are over on the Twitter. Oh, it's in my emojis? Oh, how embarrassing. I don't even know what my emojis are doing these days. But I just wanted to say hello to all of our viewers on Twitter. We snuck in Elmo's back door. I'll be your back door live streamer. Yeah, congratulations. We made it. Hopefully we don't get kicked off. But anyway, thank you. We have 36 wonderful people checking us out. And it's really nice. And if you come over to YouTube, at Real Lolo on YouTube, there's the nicest people over in the chat, and they really are what make this entire experience worthwhile. I'm gonna be honest with you. So you really want to take some time and come on over to YouTube. It's free to subscribe and participate in our amazing chat of brilliant people who are so smart and so nice. I'm so ready. Yeah, come on over to our community. But welcome, Twitter viewers. Welcome to Lolo's Lounge. I should explain. I'm going to try and be better about explaining what I'm doing here. But Lolo's Lounge is a media empire. Welcome to my media empire. I need rising music. Okay, make a note. Rising music there. Okay. Welcome to my media empire. Right now, you're sitting at Bedtime with Lolo, which is where we take a book we want to read, because I won't read unless I'm reading to you. And then we break it up into chapters. And of course, it's already written in chapters, which makes it really convenient, thankfully. And then I read them a few chapters a night until we get through the book. But I try to read it in a pleasant voice so that you can go to sleep. Yeah, step 1, unmute mic. Step 2, explain. That's a good one. Number 1, unmute. Number 1, unmute. Number 1, unmute. It's true, though. It's true. Not much else is going to happen unless we unmute. So this is Bedtime with Lolo. During the day, we have the Daily Down Lolo, which is all the congressional shit. Tomorrow we have two, count them, 2 shows, because there's 2 different things going on. One at 7 a.m. Pacific, and then the other one in the afternoon. Yo, Lolo! Charlie Cheswick, how the hell are you, dude? How in the hell are you? And so that's Daily Down Lolo. That usually happens like Monday through Friday. And then Friday night is Lolo's Lounge, where we play just an informal game of trivia, spaced out trivia, and we talk about politics and shit. And then what the fuck else? Good. You are cool. Congratulations, Charlie Cheswick, on your new channel. Here on the YouTubes. Everybody, check out Charlie Cheswick. Charlie, do you have a channel link or something? Like an @ name? You could put your @ name. You can type that in, and it doesn't block you, and then people can find your channel. It's pretty trolly, so if you won't, you enter at your own risk. But it's pretty fucking funny too. I did hear you and Al. You guys are fucking hilarious. Actually, I think you've got I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I definitely think you've got something going on there. Yeah, grab that bitch. Put that bitch in the chat. And I just love the fact that everyone's just doing their thing on YouTube. I think it's great. So I say the more the merrier, except for the bigots. Could we take the bigots off? Because I'm really pretty fucking done with the racists and the bigots and the assholes and the, the fucking whatever they are. Like, all those people could go away, but of course they won't. So I guess we just have to deal with it. But let's see, what else? Oh yeah. And then, so what else do we do? We do Daily Down Lolo. We do Lolo's Lounge on Fridays. Charlie Cheese Production. Okay, there you go, guys. There's the @ sign. Some of us assholes are doing work here. Yeah. Say what? Oh, I'm not. And yet I'm an asshole, so I don't know. Let's see, what else? What else do we do? Oh my God, there's one more thing. Oh, well then also, well, there's music. So, there's music. So sometimes, we'll write songs, and Oomph, who's, in the chat, is part of Oomph-Lo, which is, Oomph and Lolo. And it's it's just a performance sensation similar to ABBA, or Captain and Tennille, and basically just cranks out the hits nonstop. Well, actually pretty stop, but sometimes well, I wouldn't say we're working on one because I'm really the bottleneck right now. So I think I mentioned that every stream. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. It's me. That's a me thing. It's my low self-esteem. Regulating the American Songbook. That's regurgitating the American Songbook. That's right. Regurgitating the American Songbook. Upheaving the American Songbook. Hurling the American Songbook. Trenchantly and with, oh, stop. That's terrible. It's not true. You're great. I mean, you are an amazing musician and artist. Like, that's what I love about this whole fucking, like, the only beautiful things that have come out some of these weird YouTube-ness is the art and the friendships, which have been few and precious, but the art is really something that has been such a great consolation prize. I'm telling you, it's like the best consolation prize just to have fun with, like, creating wonderful things and silly things and stuff. So yeah, no, I think it's great. But I can't remember what else we do. I guess that's all. Wait. Oh, and sometimes I play games. That's right. I should be looking at my goddamn little setup here, and I could tell you exactly what I do. There's 4 different scenarios. Daily Down Lolo, Bedtime with Lolo, Lolo's Lounge, and Play with Lolo, which is, sometimes I play games. I'm not very good, so if you get frustrated by watching people that aren't good at playing games, don't watch me. But it would be nice if you, if you do like watching just people fuck up in games and be stupid, then I'm your girl. Although we are playing a really good one right now called, it's an old one. The modes are branded. I know. Yeah. Well, kind of, sort of. I mean, each one has its own screen setup in OBS. So I have to, there's 4 different things set up in OBS. But, yeah, right. We're all there. I told you it's a media empire. Oomph. I don't know why. Did you miss that part? This is a media empire. In Camp Front, Lolo got the voice for ASMR. That's right. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate you. Yeah. Yeah. And so, we do a lot of things here at Lolo's Lounge. So bottom line is, if you're on Twitter and you haven't come over to YouTube, you need to come over here because there's some really nice people here. So there you go. Anyway, any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Anyway, I don't know what the name of that song or the verse of that song is. Let's see. I kind of want to, I don't want to like wake anybody up, but I kind of want to show you the new Daily Down Lolo theme song. But I don't want to I don't want to ruin the vibe. Actually, most of you have seen it, so it's no problem. You can find it on the website. But I don't usually I don't want to play the Daily Down Lolo theme song, which is really, really bouncy and poppy and quite a bop. Because it won't be very ASMR. All night, all night, all night, all night, all night long, all night long. Woo, woo, ooh, 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 ooh. When you start, I'm gonna pass out. That's right. In seconds, your voice is calming. Oh, J Rance, you're also exhausted, my bub. My baby bub, you're exhausted. Listen, well, that's a really good reminder because I'm going to start getting into it now. I'm going to take a little hit of weed first. This is strawberry pound cake. I don't really know. I like it though. 92%. Yeah, that funk, that sweet, that funk, that what? Give it to me. Give me that sweet, that's... I don't know what the words are. Give it to me. Give me that sweet, that funk, that sweet, that stuff, that something. Sorry, I'm going to stop before I ruin that song. Too late. Okay, let's do this. All right. I'm going to yet again put my legs up on my chair. Oh, God, there's sometimes like certain seating positions just feel really, really fucking good. Give me that sweet, that funk, that nasty, that good shit. What? Give me that sweet, that funk, that nasty, that good shit. That's that good shit stuff. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't seem right. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Do 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 do. Bump it up. Oh God, you're gonna ask me to remember that. What was happening at the end of the last global catastrophe episode? I'll let you know. Actually, I probably should pull that up and then we'll figure it, because I don't really, this is embarrassing. I don't remember like all the details, so I'm sorry. I'll pull it up. So let's get into it. The book we're reading is The Ministry for the Future, recommended by Oof. It is a nonfiction, but kind of a dramatized version of climate crisis hitting the entire globe. And the Ministry for the Future is convened to address how to help humanity survive severe climate change. It opens with a mass casualty event in India caused by a heat wave. And one of the characters we're following through is an aid worker who was in India at the time and managed to survive the heat wave. And he's one of the characters. And then we also follow some of the characters from the Ministry for the Future. In the beginning of the book, in response to the heat wave, India has launched a mission to change and alter and basically cause almost how a volcano eruption would change and lower the temperature of the earth. And so the Indians since that time in the book have recreated that event, but it also has downsides for the earth. So we're in the midst of entering this crisis with them. So there is some strong language in the book. There's definitely difficult situations. And so I just urge everyone to always take that into account when you're listening, and kind of guard your heart if that's something that can be triggering for you. But The Ministry for the Future is a wonderful book by Kim Stanley Robinson, who's a very renowned science fiction author. Looking forward to reading more of his things. And I think it's a very important book, and it fits well into our kind of collective interest in geopolitics and where we're headed. Even though it is dramatized, it feels a little too real at times. So I will see where we left off on chapter 15 with which phase of the climate crisis were we in. And we also have just encountered a vigilante group that has entered the picture. So there's a lot of different characters within the book. So I really encourage you to enjoy it. This is one of Barack Obama's picks, and something that, as you can see in the description, it is wished that many leaders could read this book and really think about how it's so important to keep climate humanized, because it's too easy to dismiss it, especially for rich white men. So there you go. Yeah. But now you don't have to think about anything. You don't have to work. You don't have to create anything. You can just absorb what I'm going to read and leave this day behind. I always love that visual of saying, this day's done. Anything I need to leave behind in this day, I can leave it behind. I don't need it. Tomorrow is a new day. We have a new opportunity, new chances for happiness, new chances for frustration. And I mean, it goes without saying, but it really is true that all the shit that happens to us during the day is really, that's the shit that happens. That's the good part. Because it's, again, one trip around the marble. Make it worthwhile. So, sink into your chair or your bed, or stand firmly at your kitchen counter, making yourself a liverwurst sandwich. And get ready for some story. For those of you who can fall asleep, fantastic. We have some folks who are in Australia, so they're in the middle of their day. So I hope you can take a nap while I read to you. The Ministry for the Future, Chapter 16. Possibly some of the richest 2% of the world's population have decided to give up on the pretense that progress or development or prosperity can be achieved for all 8 billion of the world's people. For quite a long time, a century or two, this prosperity for all goal has been the line taken. That although there was inequality now, if everyone just stuck to the program and didn't rock the boat, the rising tide would eventually float even the most high and dry among them. But early in the 21st century, it became clear that the planet was incapable of sustaining everyone alive at Western levels. And at that point, the richest pulled away into their fortress mansions, bought the governments or disabled them from action against them, and bolted their doors to wait it out until some poorly theorized better time, which really came down to just the remainder of their lives, and perhaps the lives of their children if they were feeling optimistic. Beyond that, après moi, le déluge. A rational response to an intractable problem, but not really. There was scientifically supported evidence to show that if the Earth's available resources were divided up equally among all 8 billion humans, everyone would be fine. They would all be at adequacy, and the scientific evidence very robustly supported the contention that people living at adequacy and confident that they would stay there at a crucial point were healthier and thus happier than rich people. So the upshot of that equal division would be an improvement for all. Rich people would often snort at this last study, then go off and lose sleep over their bodyguards, tax, lawyers, legal risks, children crazy with arrogance, love not at all fungible, overeating and overindulgence generally, resulting health problems, ennui and existential angst. In short, an insomniac faceplant into the realization that science was once again right, that money couldn't buy health or love or happiness. Although it has to be added that a reliable sufficiency of money is indeed necessary to scaffold the possibility of those good things. The happy medium, the Goldilocks zone in terms of personal income, according to sociological analyses, seemed to rest at around $100,000 a year, or about the same amount of money that most working scientists made, which was a little suspicious in several senses. But there it stood, data. And one can run the math. The 2,000-watt society, started in 1998 in Switzerland, calculated that if all the energy consumed by households were divided by the total number of humans alive, each would have the use of about 2,000 watts of power, meaning about 48 kilowatt hours per day. The society's members then tried living on that amount of electricity to see what it was like. They found that it was fine. It took paying attention to energy use, but the resulting life was by no means a form of suffering. It was even reported to feel more stylish and meaningful to those who undertook the experiment. So, is there energy enough for all? Yes. Is there food enough for all? Yes. Is there housing enough for all? There could be. There is no real problem there. Same for clothing. Is there health care enough for all? Not yet, but there could be. It's a matter of training people and making small technological objects. There is no planetary constraint on that one. Same with education. So all the necessities for a good life are abundant enough that everyone alive could have them. Food, water, shelter, clothing, healthcare, education. Is there enough security for all? Security is the feeling that results from being confident that you will have all the things listed above, and your children will have them too. So it is a derivative effect. There can be enough security for all, but only if all have security. I'm going to read that again. There can be enough security for all, but only if all have security. If 1% of the humans alive controlled everyone's work and took far more than their share of the benefits of that work, while also blocking the project of equality and sustainability, however, they could, that project would become more difficult. This would go without saying, except that it needs saying. To be clear, concluding in brief, there is enough for all, so there should be no more people living in poverty, and there should be no more billionaires. Enough should be a human right, a floor below which no one can fall, also a ceiling above which no one can rise. Enough is as good as a feast, or better. Arranging this situation is left as an exercise for the reader. I'm going to stop there. That's a very important chapter, I feel like. It's a very important message. And I know that it feels a lot like humans are incapable of executing. And I don't know what the answer is. But we read on. Chapter 17. Today we're here to inquire who actually enacts the world's economy. Who are the ones who make it all go, so to speak? Possibly these people constitute a minority, as it is often said that most people alive today would actively welcome a change in the system. Only a stupid person would say that. Well, and yet I've just said it. Yes. But to get back to the question in hand, who do we think actually enacts the market as such? By which I mean to say, who theorizes it, who implements it, who administers it, who defends it? The police, it being the law. So, but can we then assume that those people who make the laws are deeply implicated? Yes. But lawmakers are often lawyers themselves, notoriously bereft of ideas. Can we assume they get their ideas about law from others? Yes. And who are some of those others? Think tanks, academics, meaning MBA professors, all kinds of academics, and very quickly their students. Economics departments, you mean. The World Trade Organization, stock markets, all the laws, and the politicians and the bureaucrats administering the laws, and the police and army enforcing them. And I suppose the CEOs of all the companies, banks, shareholder associations, pension funds, individual shareholders, hedge funds, financial firms. Might the central banks indeed be central to all this? Yes. Anyone else? Insurance companies, reinsurance companies, big investors. And their algorithms, right? So mathematicians. The math is primitive. And yet even primitive math still takes mathematicians, the rest of us being so clueless. Yes. Also, I suppose simply prices themselves and interest rates and the like, which is to say simply the system itself. You were asking about the people doing it. Yes, but it's an actor network. Some of the actors in an actor network aren't human. Balderdash. What, you don't believe in actor networks? There are actor networks, but it's the actors with agency who can choose to do things differently. That's what you were trying to talk about. All right, but what about money? What about it? To my mind, money acts as if it worked as gravity does. The more of it you gather together, the more gathering power it exerts, as with mass and its gravitational attraction. Cute. Ultimately, this is a very big and articulated system. Insightful. All right, then. Back to the ones who administer our economic system as such and teach others how to work it, and by a not-so-coincidental coincidence, benefit from it the most. I wonder how many people that would turn out to be. About 8 million. You're sure? No. So this would be about 1 in every 1,000 persons alive today. Well done. Thank you. And the programs they've written? Stick to the people. But if the non-human elements of the system were to break, stick to the people. You were almost getting interesting. Who matters the most in that group of 8 million? Government legislators? That's a bad thought. No, it isn't. Why would you say that? Corruption, stupidity, rule of law. But me no buts. Rule of law. What a weak reed to stand on. Yes. What can we do about that? Just make it stick. Chapter 18. The PTSD model uses the word trigger as both a noun and a verb to suggest the speed of a PTSD reaction and the way it can be switched on by some incident that should be the equivalent of a small curved piece of metal, innocuous except when placed in a gun. One must learn not to pull these things. Oh, cyclical? Uh-oh. Shoot. What's going on? Hold just a moment, please. And it appears to me the stream keeps... Oh. Hold on. Let's check something. We're taking a break, folks. Hold on just a moment. Scoop, 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 scoop. Oh, it might be. But sometimes funny things happen. Everything seems to be connected, but that doesn't mean anything. You don't hear the mic thing since you read the message. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I pushed the right. I'm going to try not to disturb. Don't disturb the microphone. Okay. Please, thank you for that, and let me know if it's annoying sound, because I can definitely we can figure it out. But thank you. All right, here we go. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a... whoops. Ah! Dang it. Okay. Are we good? All right. Let me know. I'll watch. The cognitive behavioral therapy is a hard thing to learn. One of the main strategies involved asks you to label the type of thought you are having, identify it as unhelpful or painful, and then switch tracks to a more positive train of thought. Often this strategy fails. You know what's happening, you know it's inappropriate, on it goes anyway. Your palms sweat, your heart pounds in your chest like a child trying to escape. And over that throbbing animal reality, you can be thinking to yourself, wait, no danger here now. This isn't a situation to be frightened in. You're just sitting at a cafe table, midday, light wind, low clouds. All well. Please don't do this. Don't start crying. Oops. Don't leap up and run away. Just still your shaking hands. Just pick up your coffee cup. But the trigger is pulled, and you are looking down the barrel of a gun. Enough times like that, and looking down the actual barrel of an actual gun, its trigger under your actual thumb, not your forefinger, because you have the gun pointed at yourself, resting against your sternum, and it's the thumb that can best pull, for in this case push, the trigger. This can be seen as a huge relief, a promise that the fear will finally stop. This happens all the time. It happens so often that one form of PTSD therapy goes like this. You don't have to worry so much, because if it stays this bad, you can always kill yourself. And for some sufferers, this thought is a real comfort, sometimes even the anchor point of a way back to sanity. You can always end this misery by killing yourself, so give it another day and see how it goes. It's not easy to stay unafraid. It can't always be done. Try as you might, want it ever so much. Things are out of your control, even when they are in your mind, or especially because they are in your mind. The mind is a funny animal. If it were just conscious thought, or if conscious thought was something we could control, or if unconscious thoughts were conscious, or if moods were amenable to our desires, then maybe things could work. Things like cognitive behavioral therapy or the project of any sanity itself. Just make it happen. But no, you're swimming in a river. You can get carried out to sea on riptides not of your making, or at least not under your control. You can find yourself swimming against a current much stronger than you. You can drown. Frank was drowning. He had that same shortness of breath. Therapy had mostly made it crystal clear to him that he would never be cured. In a sense, maybe that was progress. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. What did that mean? Could you live without hope? There was a Japanese saying he read in a book. Live as if you were already dead. What did that mean? Why would that be encouraging? Was it encouraging? It was enigmatic at best, a kind of double-bind. First, an injunction to live, but second, as if you were already dead. How would one do that? Was it part of the samurai code, or you to be careless of your own life in defense of whomever you were charged with protecting? So, kind of a servant's stoicism, to let yourself be used like a shield, to become a human tool. I'll stop here. I'm hearing it now. Oh no, Badger. Nothing about your movement or reading accounts for it. Like a loud and bassy, trebly cycle. Oh. I wonder why it stops. Ow. Let me see. Test. I don't know. See, the problem is I'm really not okay. Usually it's like, it stopped. Okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe I think I might know what it was. Hold on. Let me just make another setting here. I think I know. Testing. Listen now, later. Listen now, later, and hear it. Well, hold on. Yeah, I'll just listen. Hold on. Let me mute myself here. Enjoy the fire for a moment. I sound like I'm in the bottom of a barrel. Is that any better? I don't know if I have good, I don't really have any, audio things. Let me try this again. Okay, well, I think that's a little better, but I don't think it's great. So I think I might have to cut this one short because I don't want it to be too, maybe I'll re-record it. anything in that room on an 8-second cycle. I didn't hear an 8-second cycle. Is something on an 8-second cycle? I wonder if it's my fan. I wonder if it's the fan. I didn't time it. I don't know if I just heard like it sounded like I was sitting in the bottom of a barrel. Which, you know. Sue me. But I don't know. Now I don't know. It must be the fan. I just turned the fan away from me. I wonder if that helps. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot I've got to learn. Sounded to me like the pressure kept changing the bottom of the barrel. Well, yeah, somebody kept pouring water in. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Whatever space your ears were in. Damn it. It didn't sound great. I'm going to be honest with you. I love you all so much, and you're all so very kind, but the sound wasn't as pleasant as I was hoping it would be for you. But I will stick with this. Rotating. It wasn't rotating. That's the thing. It was just, but it was blowing. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any other settings. I thought it might be something on the control board, but I don't think. I wonder. Oh, what the hell's that? Oh man, I wish they would like. I don't know, maybe that's okay. Is it a sine wave shaped? Is it sine wave shaped? Oh wait. Well, I wish I could show you. Oh. Sorry, kids. This isn't normally how bedtime goes. I'm real sorry. Huh? Maybe I'm not.
It kind of sounds like it's coming, like it's
oh shit! It's from the fucking computer.
That's why. It doesn't sound, or I don't know. I'm just,
I don't know.
Because when you moved your head away, I don't think I noticed that the sound changed too much. So.
That's so weird.
What is it? It was a different input.
My bad. I think you're sick, aren't you? Oh, but it said the other. Oh, fuck me. Does this sound totally different? Oh my god. Well, I don't know if it actually is. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah. Okay, now. Oh my god. Fuck, man. I like have like 2 or 3 fatal errors every stream. No computer buzz. Well, yeah. Thank you, Oomph. And thank you, Bobo. Huh? You think it sounds better? God damn. You're so smart. Even sick. You're fucking brilliant. Oh my god, I raised the fucking smartest child in the world. She is bloody sick, comes out of her deathbed to tell me that I probably have the wrong mic on. And she's right. Good night, Bobo. Go back to bed. Okay, good night. Everyone says feel better. They don't, but it's okay. Just act like you guys say she feels better. Oh, I'm so sorry. God, I sounded really good too. Don't know if any of this tweaking while you sit up and talk directly into mic will help later when you back from reading a different angle. What? Yeah, Bobo. Thanks, Bobo. Let's see. Oomph has to tell me that I'm muted. Bobo tells me I have the wrong mic on. I'm doing really good. Everybody. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you I don't know what you're thinking. I have no idea. No idea. No idea why you guys are so freaked out right now. Man, it sounded so good too in my earphones because long story short, I had my microphone on, but it was just going into my soundboard. So it was going into my soundboard and into my earphones. It just wasn't going into the stream. My baby computer was picking it. Jesus Christ. Please tell me Hal Sparks or some of these people sometimes don't have their mic on, or I know Hal has technical difficulties sometimes. I've seen it. I've seen it. Oh well. All right. Dumb shit. I'm such a dumb shit. All of the oh, Bobo. I love you so much. You're the best person in the universe, and I mean that. I love that fucking kid. And those who are not great who have there and those not great who have tried. Yes. It's true. I love that kid. He's a good person. Yeah. I should go back. I mean, I'm gonna try and read chapter 18. I'm gonna try and read him. Oh, I know. She will. She's looking forward to that chicken and stars. This is a real champions dinner. Or breakfast, or whenever she ends up getting her appetite back. I was trying to get some water in her for now. I did just start a chapter. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that chapter. But I'm taking this opportunity to get a little fucking higher. I was listening to Dolly Parton today. I was listening to oh my god, I just lost the song. It's the one Willie Nelson wrote for her. Oh no, she wrote it. Or he wrote it. No, he wrote it. I can't remember. Anyway. Would you be so kind as to take it from the top? I would. I would be so kind as to take it from the top. Because it was literally like 4 sentences. All right. We're going to take it from the top. Take it from the top. Okay. Oops. Oh, wait. Let me make sure that's not. Hold on. Oops. I don't know where my camera's going. Okay. There we go. Now I can see it. Islands in the stream. Oh, that's a deep cut. It wasn't that one. I Will Always Love You. That's what it was. It was that one. No, wait, there was another one. Well, that was that one, and then there was Never mind. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the point of the story was I was listening to Dolly Parton today. Sometimes it's really nice to listen to like really old recordings of songs. It's just kind of nice. No, it wasn't Islands in the Stream, but I do like that song. No, Willie Nelson didn't write that, did he? I would think that what's his name wrote that. I should not get distracted by this. It's on my Spotify. Hold on. Like literally. Like literally. Well, I was listening to that. Can't find it. All right. It doesn't matter. I think what's his name did. Yes. I think what's his name? Willie Nelson is what I said. I think I said that. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Sorry about that technological breakdown. This tangent brought to you by technology disasters and low energy synapses. Yeah. Thank you for this tangent. Well, sound brought to you by Oomph and by Bobo, so why not? Why not hand out the kudos? I don't need my weed to taste like strawberries. Can I say that? Is that spicy? I don't need it. I don't need it to taste like shit. I need it to taste like weed. I don't really care. I don't know why there needs to be flavors. I just don't. I don't know if that's what it is, but it's like, it tastes like strawberries. That's weird. Kudos. Kudos. That's right. A real shout out. Badger. Are those combos? Well, no. This is. I don't know what this is. It's not a combo. It's just said, I don't know. They're both abominations. Thank you. Like, this is dumb. Like, just. It doesn't need to have all the extra. I don't need the extra. What's the matter, Badger? Am I not doing what I need to be doing? Badger's like, would you read the book, please? Yes, Badger. Okay, here we go. We're going back into, it's time for you to go the fuck to sleep. So I'm going to read you this chapter, and then you're going to go to sleep. Okay, I promise. All right, this is chapter 18. I'm like afraid to move this, but now of course it's not really that it's doing much. Okay. The PTSD model uses the word trigger as both a noun and a verb to suggest get ASMR. I'm sorry. I thought it was gonna go so smoothly tonight. Can I tell you that? I fucking spent time in the afternoon like figuring out like my setup shit. All except for the parts that, fucked up tonight. But anyway, I apologize because this is not really the experience I want you to have. But I'm so glad you're here. I am. All right, chapter 18. The PTSD model uses the word trigger as both a noun and a verb to suggest the speed of a PTSD reaction and the way it can be switched on by some incident that should be the equivalent of a small curved piece of metal, innocuous except when placed in a gun. One must learn not to pull these things. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a hard thing to learn. One of the main strategies asks you to label the type of thought you are having, identify it as unhelpful or painful, and then switch tracks to a more positive train of thought. Often this strategy fails. You know what's happening. You know what's inappropriate, and on it goes anyway. Your palms sweat,
Your heart pounds in your chest like a child trying to escape. And over that throbbing animal reality, you can be thinking to yourself, wait, no danger here. This isn't a situation to be frightened in. You're just sitting at a cafe table, midday, light wind, low clouds, all well. Please don't do this. Don't start crying. Don't leap up and run away. Just still your shaking hands. Just pick up your coffee cup. But the trigger is pulled, and you are looking right down the barrel of a gun. Enough times like that, and looking down the actual barrel of an actual gun, its trigger under your actual thumb, not your forefinger, because you have the gun pointed at yourself, resting against your sternum, and it's the thumb that can best pull, or in this case push, the trigger. This can be seen as a huge relief, as a promise that the fear will finally stop. This happens all the time. It happens so often that one form of PTSD therapy goes like this. You don't have to worry so much because if it stays this bad, you can always kill yourself. And for some sufferers, this thought is a real comfort, sometimes even the anchor point of a way back to sanity. You can always end this misery by killing yourself, so give it another day and see how it goes. It's not easy to stay unafraid. It can't always be done. Try as you might, want it ever so much, things are out of your control, even when they are in your mind, and especially because they are in your mind. The mind is a funny animal. If it were just conscious thought, or if conscious thought were something we could control, or if unconscious thoughts were conscious, or if moods were amenable to our desires, then maybe things could work. Things like cognitive behavioral therapy, or the project of sanity itself. Just make it happen. But no. You're swimming in a river. You can get carried out to sea on rip tides not of your own making, at least not under your control. You can find yourself swimming against a current much stronger than you. You can drown. Frank was drowning. He had that same shortness of breath. Therapy had mostly made it crystal clear to him that he would never be cured. In a sense, maybe that was progress. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. What did that mean? Could you live without hope? There was a Japanese saying he read in a book, live as if you were already dead. But what did that mean? Why would that be encouraging? Was it encouraging? It was enigmatic at best, a kind of double bind. First, an injunction to live, but second, as if you were already dead. How would one do that? Was it part of the samurai code? Were you to be careless of your own life in defense of whomever you were charged with protecting? So kind of a servant's stoicism? To let yourself be used like a shield, to become a human tool? Maybe so. In which case it was a matter of crushing your hopes into the proper channel. Thus, in his case, no more hoping that he would become normal again, that he would live a normal life, that what had happened would not have happened. Forget all that. Therapy taught him to give up those hopes. Hope would have to reside in something like this. Hope to do some good, no matter how fucked up you are. This was worth writing down on a piece of paper in shaky block letters and then pinning to the paper onto the mirror in his bathroom, along with various other encouragements in the form of phrases or images. Probably it looked like a madman's mirror, but he wanted to put things up there. All caps, hope to do some good, no matter how fucked up you are. Every time he remembered to brush his teeth or shave, which was getting less and less often, he would see that sign and ponder what he might do. This mainly made him feel confused, but it did seem like the urge to do something was there in him, sometimes so strong it was like a bad case of heartburn. When he was exhausted by sleeplessness or groggy with too much sleep, that burn still sometimes struck him, radiating outward from his middle. He had to do something. Maybe he wasn't going to get to be a child of Kali. Clearly not. But something like that. A fellow traveler, a warrior for the cause, a lone assailant. Over breakfast, soothing his stomach with a little plastic tub of yogurt, he pondered what he might do. One person had 1/8 billionth of the power that humanity had. This assumed everyone had an equal amount of power, which wasn't true, but it was serviceable for this kind of thinking. 1/8 billionth wasn't a very big fraction, but then again, there were poisons that worked in the parts per billion range, so it wasn't entirely unprecedented for such a small agent to change things. He wandered the streets of Glasgow, thinking it over, up and down the hills to the east and north, enjoying the sidewalks so steep they had staircases incised into them. You could work off a lot of stress walking the streets of Glasgow, and the views kept changing and their perspectives under the changing weather, reflecting the storms within, the fear, the sudden bursts of exhilaration, the black depths of ocean floor grief. Or beautiful dreams, the world gone right. How to share that? How give? St. Francis of Assisi, give yourself away. Give up on yourself and all that you thought you had. Feed the birds, help people. The positive of that was so obvious. Do like St. Francis, help people. But he wanted more. He could feel it burning him up. He wanted to kill. Well, he wanted to punish. People had caused the heat wave, and not all people. The prosperous nations, sure. The old empires, sure. They all deserved to be punished. But then also there were particular people, many still alive, who had worked all their lives to deny climate change, to keep burning carbon, to keep wrecking biomes, to keep driving other species extinct. That evil work had been their lives' project, and while pursuing that project, they had prospered and lived in luxury. They wrecked the world happily, thinking they were supermen, laughing at the weak, crushing them underfoot. He wanted to kill all those people. In the absence of that, some of them would do. He felt the urge burning him from the inside out. He wouldn't live long with that kind of internal stress. He could feel that as surely as he could feel his trip-hammer heart pumping over-pressured blood through his carotids. Oh yes, high blood pressure. He could feel it trying to burst him from the inside. Something in there would break. But first, some kind of action. Vengeance, yes, but also preemption. A preemptive strike. This might stop some bigger bad from happening. Twice a week he visited his therapist, a nice middle-aged woman, intelligent and experienced, calm and attentive, sympathetic. She was interested in him, he could see that. Probably she was interested in all her clients, but for sure she was interested in him. She asked him what he was doing, how he was feeling. He didn't tell her about his dreams of vengeance, but what he did tell her was honest enough. Earlier that week, he told her, a hot waft of steam from a giant espresso machine in a coffee emporium had caused him to freak out. Panic attack. He had had to sit down and try and calm his beating heart. She nodded. Did you try the eye movements we talked about? No. He was pretty sure this was a bullshit therapy, but the truth was that in the heat of the moment, so to speak, he had forgotten about it. I forgot. I'll try it next time. It might help, she said. It might not, but nothing lost in trying it. He nodded. Do you want to try it now? Just move my eyes? Well, no, you need to do it when you're dealing with what happened. I don't want you to re-experience anything in a way that feels too bad, but you know we've tried having you tell me what happened from your various perspectives, and maybe, if you're up for it, we could try that again, and while you tell me about it, you could try the eye movements. It would help build the association. He shrugged. If you think it will help. I don't know what will help, but it can't hurt to try this. If it's too upsetting, just stop. Anytime you want to stop, just be sure to stop. All right. So he began to tell the story of how he first had come to his town, and how the heat wave had at first seemed like all the other hot weather they had. As he spoke, he moved his eyes, in tandem, of course, as that was the only way he could do it, back and forth, looking as far to the left as he could, vague view of her bookshelves, then in a quick sweep to as far right as he could, catching a vague view of flowers in a vase in front of a window looking out onto a courtyard. This was a voluntary effort that stopped the moment he stopped thinking to do it, so he had to devote some of his attention to it, while at the same time continuing with his story, which, as a result, was halting and disjointed, unrehearsed and different from what he would have said if he was just him telling her the same thing again as before. This, he presumed, was one benefit of the exercise. I got there in the winter, so it wasn't that hot to begin with, but it wasn't cold, no. In the Himalayas it was cold. You could even see the snow peaks to the north on clear days. But most days weren't clear. The air was dirty almost all the time, not that different from anywhere else. So I got settled in and was taking classes in Hindi and working at the clinic. Then the heat wave came. It got way hotter than it had been up until then, but everyone said it was normal. That the time right before the monsoon was the hottest of all, but then it got hotter still. Then it all happened fast. One day it was so hot even the people were scared. And that night some of the older people and the littlest kids died. That sent everyone into shock. But I think they were thinking it was as bad as it could get. Then it got worse, and the power went out. And after that there was no air conditioning, and not much water. People freaked out, and rightfully so. The heat was beyond what the human body can stand. Hypothermia, that's just a word. The reality is different. You can't breathe. Sweating doesn't work. You're being roasted, like meat in an oven, and you can feel that. Eventually, a lot of them went down to the local lake, but its water was like bath temperature and not safe to drink. So that's where a lot of them died. He stopped talking and let his eyes rest. He could feel muscles behind his eyes pushing at the unaccustomed efforts. Like any other muscles, they welcomed a rest. That felt odd. The therapist said, "I noticed that this time you didn't really put yourself in the story." "No? I thought I did." "You always talked about them. They did things. Things happened to them." "Well, I was one of them." "At the time, did you think of yourself as one of them?" "No, I mean, they were them. I was me. I watched them. I talked with some of them. The usual stuff." "Of course. So could you tell me your part of the story, moving your eyes like that?" "I don't know. Do you want to try?" "No." "All right. Maybe some other time. And maybe next time we can try to create the bilateral action by having you hold these little buzzers in your hands. Remember I showed you those? They'll pulse left, right, as you talk through it. It's easier than moving your eyes." "I don't want to do that now. Next time, maybe." "I don't know when." "You don't want to?" "No. Why should I?" "Well, the theory is that if you tell the story, you're shaping the memory of it to some extent by putting it into words. And if you do that while making the eye movements or feeling the hand buzzers, that seems to create a kind of internal distance in between your memory and this part of this, in you, between your memory of the story as you told it and the what you might call the reliving of it, the spontaneous reliving of it by way of some trigger setting you off. So that if that were to happen and you wanted some relief from it, you could move your eyes and start maybe thinking of your spoken version of what happened, and it would relieve you from reliving it, if you see what I mean. "Yes," Frank said. "I understand. I'm not sure I believe it, but I understand." "That makes sense. But maybe worth a try?" "Maybe." One fall, he took a Scottish friend's offer to work on a project in Antarctica. She was principal investigator of a small scientific team going to the dry valleys to study the stream that ran there briefly every summer, the Onyx River. And she had room on the team for a field assistant and wanted to help him out. Since he was having trouble handling the heat, she said, Antarctica ought to be a great place for him. "Sounds good," he said. He was running out of money from a small inheritance left to him by his grandmother, and still didn't want to contact his parents or his organization, so it would help with that too. And so that fall, he flew to Denver and went through the interviews and altered his resume to omit his time in India. And then he was hired and off to Auckland, then Christchurch, and then from Christchurch south to McMurdo Station on Ross Island, just across McMurdo Sound from the dry valleys, which lay between the Royal Society Range and the frozen sea. Even the plane flight to McMurdo was cold, its interior a long open room like a warehouse floor, Same with all the old junky buildings of McMurdo, and the newer buildings too, like warehouses, institutional buildings, and never heated to much more than 60 degrees. Even the line that ran through the buffet in the kitchen was a cool experience, all very congenial. Then, out in the dry valleys, the hut they ate their meals in was kept warm, but not exceptionally so. Really, it was only warm relative to the outside. The dorm huts were a little hot and stuffy, but it was possible to sleep out in a tent of his own. That was really cold, so cold that sleeping bag he slept in weighed about 10 pounds. It took that much goose down in to hold in enough of his own heat to keep him warm. He stuck his nose out of his bag to breathe, and that repeating injection of frigid air reminded him that it was really cold out, even though it was sunny all the time. The continuous light was strange, but he soon got used to it. The problem was that the extreme cold somehow led to thoughts of temperature itself, and to warm up their freezing hands after a session of field work, they would heat the dining hut to quite a high temperature, which would make for a stuffy, steamy room, and Frank found himself slipping down the slippery slope. Out at this remove from any possibility of relief, freakouts would be at best inconvenient, at worst a disaster. Medevacs by Hilo were rare and expensive. He had heard them say so. So he had to stay cool, but sometimes he could only hide a freak out and hope it would go away soon and not come back. Sometimes he torqued his eyes like he was watching a ping pong match. And they had a sauna hut there. He stayed away from it, of course, but one night, going out to his tent in the bright daylight, he passed it just as a group of scientists burst out of it, half naked in bathing suits, shrieking in delighted agony at the instantaneous extreme shift of temperature, evaporative steam bursting off their bodies like they were big pink firecrackers. That sight, which ought to have been beautiful, and their shrieking, which sounded like pain, though it was ecstasy, set him off instantly. His heart pounded so fast and hard that he went light-headed, and then suddenly fell to his knees and pitched face first onto the snow. No warning, just the sight of the pink firecracker people, a racing heart, and then he found himself laid out on the hard, cold snow. He had fainted right in front of them. The sauna goers naturally helped him up, and someone took his pulse as they lifted him and cried out in a panic, "Hey, feel this tachycardia, my God, feel it." They said it was 240 beats a minute. Within 2 hours, a helo was thwacking down to medevac him out of there. And once medevaced to McMurdo, and his condition and past experiences were made fully known to the NSF brass on site, he was accused of lying on his application form and shipped back home. Chapter 19. We had been at sea for something like 8 years. They said they would pay us when we landed, but everyone knew they wouldn't. Wouldn't pay us, wouldn't land us. We were slaves. If we didn't work, they locked us in our cabins and didn't feed us. We went back to work. The food was trash, including fish heads and guts from the lake. But it was that or starve, so we ate it. And we worked. We had to. Set the lines, ran the reels, tried to keep our fingers and arms out of the way. That didn't always happen. The southern Atlantic is rough, the Antarctic Ocean even worse. Accidents were common. Often guys just stepped out over the rail onto the water. One guy waved goodbye to us before the whitecaps rolled him under. We knew why he did it. It was probably the best option, but it took courage. You could always imagine something would happen to change things. Excuse me. I have to cough. God dang it. Sorry. I thought I unplugged. I didn't. Dang it. Did you miss like the whole chapter? I'm the worst. Hello, 69 viewers. I'm like the worst. I startled you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, I was just on chapter 19. I did. I took a break to take a drink of water. But then I started reading. Oh, okay. I know where I stopped. Sorry, everybody. Okay. We're back. I love you guys very much. I'm sorry. I suck at this. I'm sorry. I suck at this. Okay, here we go. Because this is a good part. So I need you guys to do it. Okay. Then one day, it did. A ship came over the horizon. This wasn't unusual. It happened all the time. Not only fishing boats like ours, either slave ships or not. There was no way to tell, but the transport ships that came out to transfer our catch into their holds and resupply us as we didn't have to land. That was the way they did it. We didn't even know what countries they came from. So it looked like a transport ship, and it approached us. And it was clear that the captain and his mates thought the same. The people on this ship must have known the signs and fooled them. Then, after it came beside us and we had grappled it, men jumped over the side holding guns, pointed at us. We put our hands in the air just like in the movies. Oh no. Hold on. But it would have been a funny movie because most of us were grinning and it was all I could do to keep from cheering. We were herded into the cabins and locked in. When the newcomers came into our cabin and asked us questions, we answered eagerly. Maybe they were just pirates who had put us back to work for someone else, or even kill us. But even so, we told them our stories, and who the captain and every single one of his men were. They left us in there and came back later. Get on our ship, they told us. We did whatever they said, and not knowing what it would mean. All the slaves climbed a ladder onto the bigger ship. That was 8 of us. All the captain's men and the captain were left on board our boat. That was 5 of them. They said some stuff, but the men with the guns ignored them. When we were about 100 meters away, I saw that some of the men got on this new boat. Were filming our old one. Then the bow of our old boat blew up, just above the waterline. The boom wasn't very loud, but the bow shattered. There was a bit of flame, but water poured in and doused it. In about 15 minutes, the boat tilted and started going down. Then another explosion in the stern finished the deal. It went down fast. The captain and his men climbed onto the roof of the cabin and yelled at us. No one on our savior ship said anything. Everyone just watched it happen. You're killing them? We asked the sailor nearest us. He said, they've got life rafts, right? We don't know, we said. Inflatables, you mean? Yeah, I guess so. So they'll either get those inflated and over the side or they won't. If they don't, they'll get what's coming to them. We'll post film of it on sites that other fishermen will see. If they get off in a life raft, they can try and make it on land. If they manage that, they can tell the story of what happened to whoever will listen. Either way, the point will be made. So that meant these people were probably not police. This was not a good thing, but it wasn't as if we could choose who saved us. What's the point? We asked. No more fishing. Good, we said. That is the Children of Kali, I think is the name of the group in the book. I know, I'm so sorry. God, tonight's story time has really sucked. I really apologize. I apologize for all of the all the back and forth. But I'm going to probably stop it there because this has been so not as smooth. I might even re-record those chapters for you all. But that is the end of chapter 19. We will begin on chapter 20 next time. So, again, apologies for that. Sometimes I try, sometimes I fail. Sometimes I try, sometimes I fail. I should make myself a little... I'm like not even in the right place. Oh, I wonder if I can do this. Hold on, I'm going to try something. Oh, it did it. See, what I was working on today was transitions, but what I didn't work on was like doing things right. Make that a little... Oh, no, I don't want that smaller. No, I'm not going to play with it. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop playing with it. Don't play with your food. So, yeah, I'm so sorry. Wow. Okay, well, one of these days, one of these years, I'm going to like launch a show and actually have all the technical stuff like figured out. I don't know. It didn't really work that way. Oh. But yeah. What is it? It's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. Tuesday. Thank you, Badger. Thank you, Jen. I love you, Jen. I got a lot. All my sisters are here. Well, not all my sisters, but there's a lot of my sisters here. Hello, everyone on Twitter. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I love you back. I do. I love you. I love you. We've been, like, I've known some of you a few years. Like, quite a few years, actually. So there. You're stuck with me. I'm trying not to be too loud because I don't want to wake anybody up. If anybody fell, I think I hope J Rance fell asleep. She needs rest. I don't want to wake up Bobo. She's probably still awake. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm going to try and do, let's see, tomorrow. Oh, actually, let's talk about the schedule. It's really, really busy. It's really busy. Let me see about the schedule. Hold on. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. All right. Let's see. Tomorrow, it's great to stay up late. Okay, listen. I'm spending the entire day. I'm gonna be online from 7 a.m. We've got a hearing. Wait. 7 a.m. we have what is that 7? There are some... Oh, there's a bunch of hearings. Okay, there's a bunch of hearings in the morning. So basically just meet me here at 7 a.m., which is Pacific, which is 10 a.m. Eastern, everything in between and outside of that. Because there's like 3 or 4 weird hearings. So we'll just go live and do some stuff. And if not, I'll play a game. No, I'm just kidding. But then at 11:30, which is 2:30 Eastern, et cetera, is something about the election, the Senate Intelligence Committee on Threats to Elections. So I want to watch that. So we've got a couple of big things in the daytime. And then I think I don't know if there's a space tomorrow or not. I don't know. But might do something. I might do something tomorrow night. I'd kind of like to keep going with this book because I love, it's a good book. I really want to find out what happens. It's really, really good. Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, I think I did this wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. And then on Thursday, oh, my nose. I'm going to kiss a fool or have a fight. When your nose itches, that's what it means. Did you know that? It does. It means you're going to kiss a fool or you're going to have a fight if your nose itches. That's what my mother said. And she was never wrong. But on Thursday morning, the Judiciary Committee, run by our favorite Jim Hag Jordan, I think they're going to try and they're going to vote on something to hold Garland in contempt of Congress. Merrick Garland, I don't know why. I'm not entirely sure why. So that's Thursday. And then I couldn't put it down if you weren't holding it on your on my yonder coast. I'm holding it. I know. I should probably, yeah. Maybe we should just do like a marathon and just read it. I just yelled loud when I heard beautiful. I just yelled loud when I heard beautiful. The accent probably worked. Boyfriend. Don't wake him up. Don't wake him up. The beautiful voice. Oh, Jen. I love you. You're so kind. I know I can't type either. Typing's overrated. Typing's for losers. Typing's for losers. Fuck typing. Yeah, so please join me tomorrow. Please join me tomorrow. That sounded really weak. But I will be on probably most of the day. God, you won't be able to get rid of me. It's going to be you're going to be like at the end of this week, you're going to be like, Jesus Christ. When is that bitch going to stop? My God, woman. Nobody cares. I know some of you are saying that right now. I realize that. But you can't get rid of me that easily. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. Is chapter 20 good, Oomph? Is that why you're saying that? Or is it just because I screwed up and like read so much? No, we need it. Too hard to watch alone. I know, I don't want to watch it alone. I do not want to watch it alone. In fact, there are so many things, multiple per day, where I wish, you know what I wish, Jen? And I know this isn't possible because it would be like hoarders or I don't know. There would be some judgment would fall on me if I did this. But what I would love is to just like have my stream running all day and then I'll just go visit all of the websites that I normally visit. I know I was quiet for a long time. Well, I'm glad you guys, I'm glad I don't know, whatever. So mad at myself. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be, but I just am mad at myself for doing that. But I got to take my dog for a walk, which is great timing. So I will see you all very bright and girly in the morning so that we can rise and grind. You could be different people so they couldn't rail on you. It could have been one of those chapters. It could have been. I could be different people. That's right. Oh, anyway. Yeah, the dog barketh. The dog barketh and has to have his last evening constitutional. The doggy would like a constitutional, Mum. And I'll take him out. Mom gonna take you out. Mama's gonna take you out. Mom's gonna take you out. Mama's gonna take you out. Mom's gonna take you out. I have to put on a sweater because it's fucking cold here. It's very cold. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Peace, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow morning. Have a great sleep. Get some good rest. Be good. Don't be bad. Okay.